Okay, so now that we have all this stuff set up, let's just take this from the top and add a job to the schedule again. We'll take Nate's Patio. We want it on for today. We're gonna have a daily start time. Let's say it's at 5 o'clock a.m. And let's say that it's gonna end at 5 o'clock p.m. I have the option to put in a scheduler note in right now. This scheduler note is only visible to the schedulers, and that's staff people with the scheduling capability turned on. So maybe I'm just going to put this on the schedule, maybe even a week in advance, and I can just put a note that says, okay, needs Jose's crew. And I can press save if I'd like and put it on the calendar. Notice it doesn't show the scheduler's note. I have to expand all, and that shows it now. So we have Jose's crew. I want to put Jose's crew onto it. I simply can just take this crew folder if I want to, drag it right over there. So now I have Jose's crew on the schedule. That includes every single person on this crew. Also, you'll notice that there's a number 1 right here and a number 1 next to each employee. What that means is that they're scheduled one time. This entire crew is scheduled one time in this view, which by default means that each of the employees in that crew are also scheduled one time in that view. I'm going to put Heartland Warehouse on there, and I'll show you how those numbers change. So if I take Jeff Ridges, even though he's part of that crew, I might want to put him on to this job in the afternoon. I can put that on. It's going to yell at me saying, hey, he's double booked, but that's okay. I can put Jeff on there, and you'll notice he has a 2 now. And if I'd like to, I can also press this little calendar icon and filter the calendar view by that individual or that crew. So if I press for Seth, you'll notice that Seth is on this job as Jose's crew, but he's not on this one. So if I press this right here, it'll filter out that other job and just show me all the jobs that Seth himself is on. Now, if I wanted to export that as a PDF, I can press export right here, and I can see the details there. Okay, now, if I want to, I can put an event note in. Now, what an event note is what I want to send out to the employees out in the field. And remember, and I said before, your employees do not need to use the app in order to get this event note. So I could put any note that I want in here. I have 999 characters that I could type into here. So in this case here, I'm going to say 2,000 square feet. All right. And I could just press save if I want to. And that's the event note that's going to go out. I haven't sent it out as a text, or I could have just pressed this button right here and clicked notify. And those employees would have gotten a text that said they're going to Nate's Patio. This is the address and what this event note was. Okay, so they got that as a text. And we recommend setting yourself up as an employee or setting up a fake name with your cell phone number for the first time and just putting yourself on this job and seeing what that text looks like. You also notice here that this customers feature is now enabled. I have this Jeff Manning associated with this job. If I'd like to, I can even send Jeff a text as well. So if I come in here and I say, and I can shoot him a text as well. So what you should do again with this and having created a new customer is go ahead and put your cell phone number in for that particular customer. That way you can see the first text going to yourself and see what it looks like. If I put this in day view, if I go Friday 26 and just press right here, I can see this in a little bit better detail. And while we're here, let's put another job on the calendar for the same day. And just press save. I have Heartland Warehouse, and of course I can go in here and I can put my scheduler note. I can even put in my event note ahead of time if I'd like to. But I really want to show you is that you can also split up crews. So I'm going to add a new crew right here, and I'm going to name it and I'll make this one green. Okay, let's put Carl, and let's put Heath. So I might have the entire crew working on a job like this, okay? Or I may have just members of the crew on the job. And to get a person off of a job once you put them on, you can simply just go here, drag it to the gray box, and that takes them off. Let's say I want Carl on this job, but I also want Heath to go to this job. With Crew Console, what makes it really nice is that you can split up crews without necessarily take them off the crew, because that happens all the time where you might have an entire crew working on a job and then you want another person from another crew working with them that day, so that you'll notice that when I hover over Heath, he's still on Frank's crew, but he's working on this job this day with Jose's crew. there's plenty of people who have created crews and they use them differently. So I have Jose's crew and Frank's crew. That's kind of like a traditional crew that always travels together, but you may not have that. You may have something like this. Let's just take all these people off. Let's explain this. So I have Jose's crew. I'm going to press this magnifying glass right here. Let me edit the name of Jose's crew. Maybe this is the laborers. And you'll notice here that you can also delete the entire crew right here. So if I've created a crew that I wanted to delete, I can just go ahead and delete it right here. Click delete crew. And all those people who were once part of that crew are now in the unassigned folder. So I can add a new crew, and let's do this. I'm going to name a crew called laborers and make it blue. I'll put Seth and Jeff up there. So I got Seth and Jeff. You'll notice that they have these icons. These just represent that they're a standard employee. Okay, this indication right here, that means that this is a staff member. We'll show you what foremen look like here shortly. So I have Seth and Jeff on this, and you'll notice that I have this crew called laborers. And let's take this and edit this crew name, and we're going to call this foreman. Press save. So I edited the names, and this is how a number of our customers use this. They don't use them necessarily as crews. They just know, okay, we got Nate's Patio, we got Heartland Warehouse. I need a laborer on this job, and I need a foreman on this job. So instead of the crews, they're actually just using them to paint people certain colors, and that's how they know the difference between a foreman and a laborer. If you want to make people stick out even further, there's another thing that you can do. You can take and press this magnifying glass here. Let's edit this person. I have Seth Franks. If you're using a computer and if you press the Windows button and the period button at the same time, it brings up the emojis menu. And you can use whatever emoji that you want. So some companies will put the truck emoji after somebody and press save because they want to see very quickly who are all my people that have a CDL license, and they use this truck emoji to make it stand out. You can also search through all your employees by that emoji if you'd like to. Show me all the people with the truck emoji, and it filters the list by Seth Franks right here. He's the only one with it. Some other uses for that is people will put badges. Like a red circle means they have a certain kind of badge or safety. You can do pretty much anything you could think of. All right, so now that we're back to this week view here, I'll turn the expand down. And again, you can see who's all on each job. If I click on the job, I can see Seth and Carl. I can see the event note. If I send out this event note and notify them, they're going to get a text. There again, you can send that note out multiple times if you'd like to, and they'll have gotten the text that way. See where it says message sent down there. After a while, there'll be a little check mark that shows up that says no responses yet. The reason why this is showing up is because if you remember in an earlier video, I turned on the I'll be there feature, which I'll show you here shortly. So I set up Nate's Patio. They're going to that job. Let's say that I want to send them there Saturday as well. Well, I could come up here. I could show all my jobs again. I could put Nate's Patio on the schedule for Saturday and drag all the people over. Well, that's kind of a pain. So one thing that you can do here is click on Nate's Patio, and I can duplicate that and go over to Saturday. If I pick Saturday, maybe they're going to go to there Saturday. Maybe they're going to go there next week, the 30th as well, and I'll just press save. Okay, so there it is. And now if I scroll over to next week, they're there too. But maybe next week, I'm not going to have this guy go, so I'll take him off. I'm just going to have Carl go, and maybe I'm going to send Heath as well. Okay, and then also I want to edit this, and it's going to be and then press save. So I'm not going to text that out to them yet because they're not going to go there yet. So I'm going to save that, and when that day comes, I might text it to them, or the night before, I might text it to them. Also, because I scheduled them to the job, if they were using the app and they looked the week ahead on their schedule, they would see that they're on this project. But if you don't want them to see that, you can just simply take them off of the job and assign them to the job when the time comes. All right, that's some of the basic stuff about scheduling jobs and sending out the text.